Good evening, everyone, and welcome to GrayManPrepping. It is time for, if it works, there we go, Survival Saturday. And tonight's topic is grid down heat in an urban setting. I know in the previous announcements at the end of the previous shows, I gave it a longer date name. It just didn't fit, even though that's what several people referred to it as was the other name. This is the same thing. We're talking about you need heat in an urban setting, and either the gas grid is down or the electrical grid is down or both. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. But let me jump over here to the comment section. And all right, so first one was Shady Hill Homestead, followed by Walt Rogers, then Phelan Clan Wolf. It's the Marshmallow Man. Chef Tech is here. Daniel Berry Sports Highlights, Sue Me, Utah Mike, Caitlin Strain, Geeky Gardens, Diana 2, Julie Evans, Christy Betts is here, Little Lone Prepper, Took by V, and I think I'm caught up there. All righty. Before I forget, I do need to drop something down in here. I had the grandkids here just about all day, and I totally forgot to set this up till about 20 minutes ago or so. So I was a little late getting this set up, and I was still scrambling during even the countdown getting stuff set up here for you guys. All right, so we got Sumi says it's 53 where she's at. Took by V says estimated 81 degrees, 78. Yeah, okay, you're don't have to worry about it right now. Moon over Miami, hey. Chef Tech says 62 where he's at. It's 78 here indoors, but I've also had 4 thermonuclear power plants running around the house here generating heat. So yeah, it's definitely cooler outside, but I'm not going to open it because it's supposed to get dropped cooler down tonight. And I see Mark coming in here, so let me get him up as I'm bouncing around trying to coordinate everything here going on.
Oh, I forgot to change my avatar. I'll have to fix that.
All right. Mark, give me a count.
1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
There we go. All right. My speaker got bumped and I couldn't hear you at all. All right. And yeah, it's well, one thing I want to do say, if you are in this wintertime when it gets all snowy and stuff and cold and below freezing temperatures, remember, freezing temperature suck the humidity out of the air so you dehydrate faster. So remember to hydrate.
Yep.
And actually, more people suffer from dehydration in the wintertime because they're not sweating, so they don't realize. Usually when you're sweating, you realize, oh, I better drink water. But when it's cold out and they're bundled up, and even in the house, keep the temperature down in the house, they kind of bundle up. They don't think about drinking water. Hey, and that froze. T-More's in the house. All righty. Okay, so there is, this is something that it's always getting addressed multiple times by multiple channels every winter. And so I'm going to give you my perspective, some of the things I've done up here in Idaho when we get down to minus degree temperatures and stuff. Now, 111. Sounds like Death Valley.
Hey, you can keep that.
Yeah.
I don't do heat.
Yeah. All righty. So, I do got a couple pictures for what I want to call it. It's called Ground Truths, where you set up the basis of which everything's going to be going on. So we're talking about, all right, so the grid's gone down. Either the power grid, as shown here with power lines going down, which means your furnace doesn't have power to blow, do the blowers and all the other stuff it needs to run. And or the gas system is down if you're on natural gas. And like most urban areas are on natural gas. So it's there it is. So one thing is, the other thing is like, oh, here comes Lewis. Hey, Lewis.
Hey, how's it going?
Right. And see, a prepper for the ages just came in. Woohoo. So one of the things is to consider if you're in an urban situation, some urban areas are trying to ban the burning of firewood in either a fireplace or a wood burning stove. So most likely you don't have a supply of wood, even if you had a fireplace with a stove insert or a freestanding wood burning stove.
So let me get this straight. The grid goes down. I need heat. There's a law in place that says I can't burn firewood in my wood burning stove. Who the hell's going to come out and arrest me? Sorry,
the San Francisco Bay Area Air Quality Management Board, if you're in Northern California.
Yeah. They'll be too busy sitting in their cars, freezing, getting free gasoline, and staying warm.
Yeah. So, but in general, if generally, like if the power goes out and stuff, they have been told by the state Supreme Court, no, you cannot stop people from burning firewood if the power is out and they have no way to heat their houses. So the state Supreme Court did give them the big finger salute.
That's all right. They'll just write you a fine for all the carbon credits you're eating up. So when the power comes back on, you owe them like millions.
Yeah, but
California.
But yeah, so but thing is, so if people are thinking, all right, I can't burn wood in my fireplace anymore, why stock wood? So they're going to be, people are going to be without a supply of firewood. Now, one thing you got to remember is if you got even if you just are without power and you do have gas, you don't want to be turning the burners on your stove and running that for heat, because a stove does not have a ceramic catalytic converter plate in there to help eliminate carbon monoxide or convert it from carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide, which is not as bad.
So
still not good.
I'm just playing devil's advocate with you now. So running your stove like that, bad. But running my stove with a pressure canner going while the grid's down, that's okay, right?
Well, you're running one burner. You're not running all the burners 24/7.
I didn't say 24/7, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's what some people do. They keep
I know they put non-vented heaters and propane heaters in their house. I did it in my cabin.
Yeah.
I mean, I had the door open and everything, running the heater to get the heat up, and left the door open for a while so it was venting out. I went to sleep. When I shut the door, went to sleep, I woke up in the morning because I have that place so sealed up. I about killed myself just with my own CO2 because I didn't open a window.
Yeah. So Oliver Wendell Douglas is here. Welcome. All right. And so like Kaylin says, her place, Kaylin's in the urban setting, in an apartment. Her heat is electric only. The only natural gas they have for the hot water heater and the dryers. So yeah. All right. And did I have another picture after this one here? No. Okay. So what I have here in place for me, and this should work for some of you guys. I'm going to give you the good, bad, and the ugly of this other stuff here. Let me see if I can bring it up here. Please stay. Yes, it did stay. Wrong one. Dang it. Come on. There we go. All right. Now I can bring it up. So I have several of these here. and I've got a couple in California because it's just bad. The cost of running the electricity to run the furnace there is insane.
You just have to make sure you have air because that's a non-vent. That's you need venting for that.
This is a non-vented one, but it does have the ceramic thing in the background to convert the carbon monoxide to carbon dioxide.
Well, either way, without oxygen, you die.
But the thing is, it has the low oxygen sensor on it, so it shuts off when oxygen starts to drop. So that's the one thing I like about the Mr. Buddy. It comes with the oxygen sensor on it. And of course, right now, this is this time of the year, this is about $25 above what it was last year.
Yep.
Okay. Now, besides having this is called the Mr. Buddy, and then there is the
Double Buddy,
Big Buddy, the Big Buddy.
That one takes two.
However,
with those, you can hook up either a 1 pound canister. It only lasts about an hour or two. Or now, I think you can put two. Can you?
This takes 2 1 pound canisters, one for each side of that, for each side of it, because it's set up with two sides to turn on.
Right, or you can hook up to a 20 pound tank.
Yeah, and you got to have the special adapter here for it to adapt into it to be able to run just off of a 20 or 30 pound tank.
Right.
And so, it burns through the 1 pounders at the same rate as the regular Mr. Buddy does, but you got 2 burners going, so each tank runs each side separately.
Yeah, you're not going to heat your house with that.
No. However, let me go back to the other one here. Sean in Alaska was heating his camper for several years up there, running one of these in his camper. Yeah. And of course, the camper is not airtight.
No.
And so he had leaks in air blowing through and stuff like that. So he it never shut off. And I think he had carbon monoxide sensors and stuff like that there to go off, if it got up there, but he never had any problems with it. I made a heater with a bunch of soup cans.
You got
a computer fan and a box plexiglass. Oh, he went all out. Yeah. And
yeah, I've seen those. Those are pretty cool. I never made one. You put the you got to take the tops and bottoms off your cans and paint them black and mount them in a box and hook them all together, and that way the air blows through and with the sun and heats it up nice.
Yeah, and Sean in Alaska used to have the young chicks in the camper as well.
I'll keep you warm.
Right. Yeah. So he had the heater help heat up the chickens, and the little chicks were producing heat anyways to help offset. Yeah, it was a circle of heat.
Wait, what kind of those kind of chicks? Oh, I thought you were talking about other chicks.
Chickens, baby chickens.
Chickens. Well, it says chicks, so I had a couple chicks in my camper. I stayed warm all night.
Yeah. So the number 2, this is another Mr. Heater unit. This one, I've looked all over it. I can't see where it says it has an oxygen sensor on it. I don't think this one does. This is for use out in a shop or something like that, or outdoor use. So it has the
that's like the parabolic ones you can get that mount right on your 20-pound can. Same thing.
Yeah, here's the other ones.
Yep,
these definitely do not. NFROs. These definitely do not have an oxygen sensor on it. But this one does have the piezo lighter on it, so it's sparking lighter on it. I have used this in the house in California. Actually, I used 2 of these in there when I was doing drywall. That house was built in 1935, and it had air leaks on it. But yeah. But I also had carbon monoxide sensors all over the place, and nothing ever went off. And no one felt lightheaded or anything else. Now, the other one here, now I have, like I said, I got this one here, this single Mr. Heater. I also have, I got 3 of those here. I also have one of these. I purchased one for, I say I purchased it twice. I purchased it once, one for me and one for my wife in California. And so these take the little 1 pound ones. However, I cheated on the one I have here. I should have taken a picture. I actually did, I did do a video on it. On what I did. I took a 30-pound tank. I got the little propane tree for camping where it has the screw on to put the lantern on it. Well, instead of the lantern, I screwed this on the top, and I got it in the master bathroom because that is the coldest room in the house, even with the furnace going. That room is cold in there. I mean, it's too cold for me to take a shower without my back locking up, all the muscles tensing up in my back and pinching a nerve. So I heat that bathroom up before I go in to take a shower. And like the Mr. Buddy and the Big Buddy, this one has a knockover protection, tip over protection. So if it gets bumped, falls over, it turns off automatically.
I hear they make one for crazy people. It's called the Nutty Buddy. Sorry. You know what? Yeah, whatever.
Yes, it is somewhat tippy. Especially, I have noticed when I first got it, I was using it with the base that came with it here, and the base here. If you're not getting the Coleman brand green ones, you get some of the other off-brand ones.
Oh, you get the tall ones.
The off-brand ones are a little bit just a hair smaller than the Coleman ones, and they fit loose in that base. They don't fit nice. They don't snap in nice and tight like the Coleman's was. So that's why I went with the 30-pounder in the room in there with the little propane tree on it.
Hey, have you ever refilled your own 1 pound cans?
I got the stuff for it. I was going to do that, but I picked up a couple extra propane tanks dirt cheap, and I actually picked up some for free. And it's like, okay, don't need them. I got plenty of them.
And I know I brought it up, I think last night. Read the plaque on those bottle swap places like Lowe's and stuff like that. They only put 15 pounds in a 20-pound can.
Yeah.
And you're getting ripped off everything. You think it's a great price. I'm getting it filled. It's cheaper than going to the hardware store. Yeah, well, most hardware stores use the scale. Find the one that does it by the gallon.
Yeah. Go ahead and take that off there. Oh, the Mr. Heater golf cart heater. Yeah. That's similar to the Mr. Buddy, but I know it looks a little different. I haven't gotten one of those because once I got this one here, and I tested it out and wanted to put it on the propane tank using the propane tree. It works. It works really good. If you have all right, I'm going to pick on Kaylin. Kaylin is in an apartment. She has the Mr. Heater. Kaylin, do you have the Mr. Heater or the little buddy? Do you have the buddy or both, or just the Mr. Heater buddy?
The regular one, the little, the regular, or the double?
Yeah, I know. I don't think she has the double. I think she has the regular one.
Yeah, I got 2 regular ones. I've had them for years.
Yeah. There is something I do want to say while I went for. Now I'm froze here. If you get, let me, if I go back here and show the, they don't show it. Oh, they show it on there. Okay. So if you get it for the adapter hose for it, get the one made by Mr. Heater, because Mr. Heater made a big deal about the fact that a lot of the cheap hoses you get from, which if you look at, all come from across the sea. They use petroleum oil in the manufacturing process, and so they don't clean out the inside of the hose.
Oh, so it tears itself apart.
No, so well, yeah, it starts to break down a little bit because of the oil that's in it from the manufacturing process. But they also, the oil, when you start using it, oil particles will go in and collect inside the heater and plug up stuff. And then if you get pieces of the rubber break or plastic from the hose breaking loose and going in, it plugs up. So one of the things you're going to need, let's see if it shows it down below here. Let me go down below. You can get different size ones. So this is gas powered. No, it's not a Mr. Heater. Don't get it. Let me just look to see if they have any. Now they have other ones. They have the blue flame ones that are portable that you can hook up as well. You want to make sure that they also have the oxygen sensor on them. I was looking for, I'm going to have to go looking elsewhere here for a second here. Hang on.
Yeah, when I bought my Buddy heater at Lowe's, they had the Mr. Buddy accessories hanging on the wall there, so I bought the 20-foot hose to go with it. I use it in my garage. I leave the propane, the big tank outside.
Yeah. So the filters.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you look at it, there's all right. So the one in the middle here, you get 2 of them for $50. But that's not made by Mr. Heater. It's made by somebody else. It's compatible with Mr. Heater. This one here is Mr. Heater fuel. So, and I got several of those for all the ones I use the hoses. All my hoses are Mr. Heater hoses. And you got to look at it to make sure that it's a Mr. Heater hose when you're getting it. And I actually got the kit one that was Mr. Heater hose with the Mr. Heater. Like, here's the Mr. Heater hose right here. 10-foot hose, Mr. Heater.
Aside from the fact there's a check valve on the small end, not the can end, not the big can end. But couldn't you run some solvent through it?
No, you don't want to put solvent on it. Solvent will
really eat the rubber.
Will eat the material or cause it to break down to shorten its life cycle on it. You just you shouldn't need to put any solvent on this anyways. But yeah, if you're going to do a Mr. Heater, make sure you get the Mr. Heater hose if you're going to put the big 20 or 30 pound tanks on.
I have a problem. I think it's one of my tanks that I use at the cabin, and I have 2 other ones out there I got to try. When I put the hose on that and hook it up to one of my propane stoves, I can leave the stove running, shut the tank off. It never shuts off. The tank doesn't shut off.
Yeah,
and so I shut the hose off. When I unscrew the thing, about freeze my hand because of all the propane shooting everywhere, even with the valve off. So I don't know if it's a bad valve or it's just the way those hoses are designed.
It's all right. If it never shuts off, it's a bad valve. I had one like that. When I realized what it was, I filled it up a second time and took my little gas sensor on it, put up next to it, and sure enough, it was leaking. It's not leaking slowly.
I leave it in the cabin and the door's shut. I mean, and I've smelled it and sprayed soapy water on it and turned it sideways so it fills up. No bubbles. It's just while the hose is in there, it won't shut. I can shut the valve off. It just won't shut off.
Yeah. Well, mine when I shut the valve off, it takes about 5 minutes for it to use all the gas in the hose.
Oh no, mine. Nope. I literally let that stove run for like 10 minutes. And it's normal. It doesn't peter out. I think it's the can, the bottle I got, because I've done that in the past where I'll shut the bottle off with the Buddy heater running, same hose, and then all of a sudden, blip, 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 Buddy heater goes out.
Yeah. And that's what mine does. Mine will go out. And so, and when it goes out, the Mr. Heater shuts down. And when I come back to it, that hose is pressurized by the morning time. And so what I did is rather than monkey with it myself, buying my own valve and stuff, I just took it to the
bottle exchange.
Yeah, bottle exchange. Yeah, I didn't get a full 20 pounds of propane.
Nope.
But
that's how you get around the expired bottle problem going to your regular hardware store, because they look at the dates. So you just take you. People sell them. They sell propane tanks around here empty for like $5 a piece. I'm like, well, hell, I just go buy one of those, 2 of them, 3 of them, take it over to Lowe's or wherever, do a bottle swap. I get nice new bottles, or not newish if they're painted, whatever, but they're in date. And then I just take them over to the other place and get them refilled when they're empty.
Yeah. Yeah. So you want to make sure if you're going to be running any of the Mr. Heater buddies on, or one of the blue flame ones that are portable off of a 20 or 30 pound tank, you're going to want to use the Mr. Heater hose with a propane filter on it, just for keep anything from going into the heater and plugging up the mechanism. Okay, we had a problem with one of the tanks at her mosque. As for the outdoor propane cookers, we had to get that replaced a few years ago. Yeah. Yeah, is it a 3-dog night? Yeah. No, it's a 6-dog night. I got the entire sled team in here with me, and the backup dog too, and the wife.
Yeah, propane in the small cans doesn't work too well in the wintertime, because they start to freeze up and the pressure drops. The 20-pound cans, you get a little more runtime out of it before it starts to sputter. But butane, forget it. I've had my unless it's like 90 degrees outside when you're cooking, those things freeze up so fast it's not even funny. And I got a bunch of those little butane stoves and a ton of cans.
Okay, he says there's companies selling the refillable setups. Hey, CB's here. Hugo Homestead. All right. Anyways, okay, was it
Yeah, I had a
all I right. It's not you're gonna blow yourself up at. It's that the actually, let me go back here to it. Hang on, let me drop that down while I go hunting for it. On the green cans, the little check valve inside of it,
it's a Schrader valve,
isn't made for 100 uses of being connected and disconnected.
Right.
So if you have just one, you use it, and it's after a year or two, all of a sudden it may start leaking on you.
It's a Schrader valve, like a tire. It's the same as a tire valve, except it has the red seal on it, not the black one.
Yeah. Let me see here. I'm going to look something up here because I do have stuff here set up in here. Heater. There we go. That's the right folder. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got it. So this is the folder here. Let me get this up here. All right. So this is the
that's the tree. I got one of those.
That's the tree I used. And also has an extension on it, but I just used the 1/2 on it.
That's the one that has the one sticking straight up, so you can put your lantern cap on there for propane.
Yeah. Yeah, and it has a couple side ones so you can hook your stoves up to it as well and stuff like that. Mr. Heater hoses, 5-foot or 10-foot Mr. Heater hoses. I got the filters. I have one of these. This is the 100-pound tank out in the shop. And I have several of the 30-pound tanks. They do make caps that screw onto those little green cans there. And I got the other. This is to convert your multi-fuel Coleman camp stove to run off of propane. And what else I got down? I'm trying to find the other stuff down here. I don't have the other thing on here. Dang it! I thought I had it in here. All right, so let me go up here to the top.
Yeah, up here in Canada, we got 250-gallon tanks, but this is for your house, though, right? Like to heat your house for the month. And sometimes they'll double them up to 250 tanks. And I think they also got like a 1,000-gallon tanks. And I'm almost sure that these things, like these tanks, can not just hook up to your furnace, but to a stove, to a little buddy heater or two in the house.
Yes and no, Lewis. So if you would just have a gas stove, it's usually natural gas. You need to change the orifice tips on everything. There's a conversion kit, whether it's propane or natural gas, because there's 2 different BTU ratings on them. But yeah, I mean, I'm big tanks. That's what I'm putting in the house when we build it. We're doing propane. I can't stand electric everything. I want a propane gas stove. I want a propane dryer and a propane water heater.
All right, so
like I'm sure that it's a little more complicated than your 1 pound or your 20-kilo tanks or whatever, right? You know.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, there's that way, because like I got two big 250-gallon tanks that I'm sure I can run lines to my generator or whatever. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, you could just need the right flare adapters for it.
I will get to that in a second, Mike. Yeah. So around here, the smallest outdoor propane tank that people get is a 500-gallon one. Some people have the 1,000-gallon ones. They have the 1,500-gallon ones, and some people even have the 2,000-gallon ones. About 80 miles south of me is where Heath at Red Poppy Ranch is. He has a 2,000-gallon tank, and he went and got he went back to Oklahoma, picked up on a trailer one of those delivery truck tanks, because they can in Oklahoma they're only allowed to be on the road so many years, even though they're still good. They have a safety regulation. All right, since it's been out there on the road for 5 years, you got to take it off the road. Well, he went and bought one of those, took it up there, fixed it all up, made mounts for it and everything else, had it inspected, and I think it's like a 5,000-gallon tank.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That should get him through at least a year, well, depending on how much you use the heat. And
that's what he got it for, because his road, once winter sets in, the propane guys can't get up there.
That's a problem.
Yeah, we got some of those. Yeah, we got some of those unmaintenance roads too, right? So some people, depending on how much propane they got, right? Like propane usage, like stove, heat, whatever, they get the bigger tanks.
Yeah. All right. So what was being mentioned about refilling them? So you can buy ones that have a better valve in them, and so you're paying a lot more for the valve. And these are refillable, and they got the short stubby ones. They got the tall skinny ones. Got Mr. Heater is now doing one refillable ones. They got kits you can get to do it. I have this one here with the red handle on it to use, so I can refill mine.
That's the one I need. I need to get one of those. I have the regular one where you have to shut the valve off, but you still get propane spraying everywhere every time you unscrew it.
And so basically, if you're refilling, you got to remember you have to turn the tank upside down.
Yep.
To fill the bottles.
You're filling it with liquid, not gas.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I've bought several of these refill cap covers on it, so the threads don't get dinged and anything else like that. Yeah, this is the one I got here, the $17 one. It's the one I got. Has a gauge on it as well. It has a
cool.
quarter turn ball valve. They have the ones that this kit here has the squeeze handle on it, but you got to be wearing gloves because that's going to get cold.
Yep.
And it has the these black things here are stands to help hold the 20 pound or 30 pound tank up off the ground a little bit or off the table, so you can get to the valve and stuff on it. Yeah. So yeah, there are some good kits here and stuff. This one here actually has, you can see it has a stand on it, so you can refill.
That's a little excessive unless you're using propane torches like every day for your career job.
Yeah, if you're a plumber, I know a couple of plumbers around here that I've been told about. And I actually talked to one. Yeah, they got the 30 pounders on there, and they refill all the little 1 pounders up. So refilling the 1 pounders you can do it, but like for me here, it's like, okay, I got the Mr. Heater. If I'm running 2 of those Mr. Heaters out in the shop, you try to keep the shop above freezing, and to keep the IBC tote garden things I've moved into the shop, keep those from freezing. I'm not going to be using 1 pounders out there.
Yeah,
I'm going to be using the 20s, the 30s, and the 100 pound bottles out there.
Yeah. And the good news when you're running the buddy heater, that CO2 that's converted from CO to CO2 coming out, your plants love it.
Oh yeah, and then the plants turn that back into oxygen.
That's right.
Tammy Harder says, I think we have a no-no law here in Minnesota. She's also asking about excluding for certain states. Well,
maybe.
Let's take a look.
I'm saying not available in California, New York.
Yeah, this says DOT compliant, so I'm going to go into it here and take a look at it and see if it lists anything else on it. So if it's Department of Transportation, that's U.S. Department of Transportation. If it's DOT compliant, it can. They should be able to refill them.
What are you looking at? You looking at tanks, or you looking at the adapters?
This is the 1 gallon tanks here, refillable propane.
1 pound tanks.
1 pound. Yeah. And here, what was it saying here? I just happened to it here. Okay. Safety use Flame King refillable propane tanks are 1 pound tanks certified by DOT. It's legally and lawful fillable and transportable. And it says is not safe or legal to refill and transport disposable ones, which is your standard green ones from the other places and stuff. So your no-no law probably states unless they have a U.S. Department of Transportation certified, you can't refill them. Yeah. Oh, and I froze. Okay, sorry, I didn't see I was freezing. I was looking over at this screen here. So yeah. So put it back up here. Sorry, I thought I had this up. So this area here is was the safety. It lists all about the law on it there. Cylinders fill the fastest, safest commercial flame. Okay, see more product details. Just the warranty on it. Okay, so it just talks a little bit about about it, but yeah, Flame King. And let me go back a page here and look at the Mr. Heater one and see if it's DOT certified too. Yeah, so Mr. Heater, this is the first time I've seen a Mr. Heater refillable, and it is also says it's DOT certified. Department of Transportation certified. So it's probably Flame King hasn't updated their thing, saying they're the only ones. They're not. I would expect Mr. Heater to do it properly, and it has all the warnings on the container there. So, and it says additionally, this product is DOT certified for use for the term of 12 years from the date of purchase.
Okay.
Yeah, well, that's probably their insurance at 12 years, which, if you treat it really nice and treat it fine, keeping it stored in a dry area, you could probably go a lot longer than that.
It depends on how much you use it, too.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're constantly using that valve and changing over a nozzle, like putting it on and off once a week, yeah, maybe. Yeah. If you're doing it like you're filling them up just to have them and you use them like every year or two, you probably make it 20, 30 years, but by then, probably won't be able to get propane anymore.
Yeah. 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 So I'm going to go back here for a second here and look at something here.
So what about kerosene? Are we going to get to that?
Kerosene heaters. Yes. Okay. Background history.
You froze.
Debbie. Sorry. Background as far as my family is concerned using kerosene. My cousin Debbie and her husband for 15 years used the round kerosene heater downstairs in their living room to heat the house. This heat rises to the bedrooms. And Don was very fastidious. No, I can't remember the word. Basically,
adamant.
Not adamant. He would get in there and he would, all right, it's like
meticulous.
And he would get in there and he'd smell it and he'd go, oh, time to work on the wick. And he'd go in there, he'd take the wick out, he'd trim it, set it to the right size, measure it. I mean, I watched him one time. It took him a half hour to do everything and put it. And he was good. He was moving fast. And it took him a half hour to do everything on it, put it back together, and get it going again. That's the problem with kerosene, is you got to maintain that wick and keep it
once
trimmed.
It gets too bad, you start getting smoke and smell and everything out of it. And then, all hell breaks loose. And kerosene, I might tell you at some point why I know this now, but kerosene is a wet heat. It's a very humid heat. Let's just say one of my very large woodworking projects didn't work out very well a year later.
Yeah. Well, propane also produces wetness too. Right. When I had three of those, three of the heaters going out in the shop constant last year during the really cold spell, I went out there and it was dripping water from the rafters.
Yep. Yeah, well, it also turns your 12% moisture high dollar cherry lumber into 30% moisture cherry lumber when you glue it together, and then it sits in somebody's house in the middle of the night. Sounds like an explosion as the whole tabletop split in half. Yeah, it was not a fun day for me.
All righty, I gotta look something else up here real quick here for okay. The spelling it. Come on, fingers work. So I'm going to talk about these as well. Okay. The torpedo heaters. Yeah. There are several different types of torpedoes heaters.
But you need electric.
Not all of them. Not all of them.
Most of them.
Most of them. Yeah, most of them you do. But if you have one of those little power stations, that's, because all you're doing is just doing the little pump.
So you didn't bypass it. Yes, they all need electric one way or another, whether it's out of a power station or your wall. They have a fan built in there. That's why they look like a rocket engine, because the fans.
Well, some of them don't. The propane ones don't all have fans in them.
Okay,
it's built like a rocket engine, and it shoots and it has the draft itself on the back.
Oh, okay.
Now the one here with the wheel on it.
Yeah.
The one with the wheel on it is this is a 13.2 gallon tank. That's a kerosene. No, that's a diesel one. Diesel kerosene. Same difference for these torpedo heaters. The one on the far right, the orange one here, is has a tank on it. The white one has a tank on it. This one here with the blue flame on it, that's a propane one.
Yeah, the big gas one, the liquid fuel ones, those are great for like horse barns and big barns and big shops and stuff where you have a lot of air leakage, just to keep things from freezing.
Now, some of these have batteries in there for the electric starter.
Yeah, for the igniter.
The igniter. Okay. And then there's another one here, if I can find it here. All right, here's another example. This pyramid one is a propane one that has the.
That's a quartz glass, yeah.
Yes. So basically, it's acting like a catalytic converter to get rid of the carbon monoxide, but it's made for outdoors. It's made for outdoors. It's a patio heater. I'm trying to see if they have the other ones. I don't see the other ones here. These are all, diesel / kerosene ones that you can heat. These are froze again. These are all kerosene diesel ones. They're for open space, such as new house construction before they got the windows put in. If you have a barn, you got a barn where you have one door open, and it's an old barn, it leaks air everywhere, but it works
for your horses, donkeys, whatever. I wouldn't use it in the chicken coop. You'd have roasted chicken in no time.
Yeah. Here is a vertical propane Mr. Heater one too. Definitely only has the piezo heater on it, but also for outdoor use only. Let me look up the other one here, see if I can find the other one here to show you guys the other type of kerosene diesel one. Top hat heaters. They're going hat heaters. I don't want hat heaters. I want. All right, try that. See, that brings it up. Okay, they're not even selling it here. Okay.
I like those diesel heaters that it needs battery, but it's a diesel, and they put out some serious heat. There's a couple of prepper channels I've watched on YouTube. They have them, and he mounts one in his truck. He takes one and puts it in his ice fishing tent. The other one's in the chicken house. They work.
Yeah.
And they sip they sip the diesel.
Yeah. I just love the way they're trying to, a certain search engine here tries to hide the things you're looking for here. All right, here we go. And they've changed. Now they're calling them smudge pots. So there you go. The bottom's filled up with diesel fuel or kerosene. In construction, we use diesel fuel. It's got a little. See if I find a better view of it here. Down here, we got 3 holes on it. You open that up, it has like a little basket in there. You take some newspaper, wad it up, stick it down in there. It goes down into the diesel a little bit. You light it up, you let it get going, and you close that off. These here that I'm seeing here are missing something on them. Yeah. One of the things they had on the ones we had, which were really cool, you could shut off the down here for the flow coming in. You could also shut off. It had like a chimney damper down near the bottom here that you turn, and it would also help shut it down as well. But I don't see any of these new ones here with the damper in it. I guess people didn't know how to use the damper properly and were causing problems. But anyways, these are definitely outdoor area.
Yeah.
I would not use these in a barn. I would open up the double barn doors and put it in front of the door, and open up a back door so the wind's blowing the heat in.
It doesn't exactly have a tip over protection, probably.
Oh no, they have no protection.
The good old days, no protection. Anyway.
Yeah, and a lot of these, they call them a smudge pot now. Is because a lot of these, because they don't have the top hat here on the top of it there, they're just, open top type things. They use them out in orchards, and
there's a frost coming, you throw them out in the orchard, so that way it keeps the heat from whatever.
Yeah, and not only that, they produce a lot of smoke, and the smoke stays low to the ground to trap heat in. Yeah, so
and then now your apricots taste like diesel.
Yeah. Well, but apricots are already picked by the time you have to use a smudge pot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's generally for the citrus orchards is what they use the smudge pots for. Yeah, so some of them have. California started to do it, and there was a big pushback from the citrus growers in California, and they rescinded that law. Whether they reinstituted it later, but they were trying to give farmers financial incentives to go use other things other than smudge pots.
Like electric?
No, like installing you're gonna love this one. Getting small block Chevy and Ford engines up there running a big propeller to circulate the air so it wouldn't sit down in there. And then sometimes they'd also have that propeller going, and they would have a cleaner burning gasoline heater up there. So it'd be blowing heated air around from a gasoline heater.
Using a gas motor in California.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. But this was back in the 70s.
You could probably rig your Tesla up to do that.
Yes, and yes, they have used helicopters fly them over the orange groves, circulate the air so that the moisture on the leaves wouldn't freeze. And the thing is, they also sometimes they have some of the groves who are out there. They plumb the groves to spray constant mist of
45 degree water.
Geothermal heated water. So the water's about 50 degrees going out there, so it's not freezing so easily. Yeah. So yeah, there's but for home use, if you're an urban thing, depending on the size, your best bets are the Mr. Heater Little Buddy, or the
Nutty Buddy.
The Buddy. Now, if you have a big house and you're in an urban area, I would say it's probably better to get two buddies than one big buddy.
Yeah, you can put them in separate rooms.
Put them in separate rooms. Put them in different side areas and stuff. They're easier to hook stuff up to, easier to use than the big buddy. Because I got the big buddy once, opened it up, read all the instructions on it, packed it back up, and took it back to the store.
But
didn't even try hooking it up. It's like, no, this is too much crap. And the one I got didn't have the adapter for the 20 or 30 gallon tanks with it.
Ooh.
Yeah, I took that back to Sam's Club.
That's why they're cheaper at Sam's Club. They leave half the options off of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't see it, which is ticking me off. I didn't get the latest ad for October for Sam's Club, and I haven't seen the one come in for Costco yet. But right about now is when during October is when Costco and Sam's Club will have the regular the regular Buddy on sale. I'm waiting to see if Home Depot and Lowe's will do the same thing too. So speaking of which, I'm going to check something here right now. See if they're here at my local Home Depot. It is usually $1 cheaper than Lowe's here for it. There it is. Let's see if they got anything. Okay. Yes, here's your prices here. So this is Home Depot. It's now $79.98, $80 for the Mr. Heater, which is cheaper than on Amazon. It's $99 for the area heater, which is for your garage, with your garage door open. $121 for the double Mr. The big Buddy. So how many got 25 in stock?
How many? Oh, 9,000 BTU. It's 18,000 for that roll around one, all the way to the right there for $99. Shit, $20 more, you get a bigger heater.
Yeah, that's a Mr. Heater too. It looks like the propane tank, the 20-pounder mounts on the back of it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you can still get the hose for it and put it outside.
Yeah.
It's on plastic wheels, so I'm sure it's probably not meant to roll around concrete and grass all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Too small for me to read all that stuff. More details. Okay, now I'm going to see if this one has the oxygen sensor on it. Come on. Yes, it has the oxygen depletion sensor on it.
There you go. You could probably put a hose on it, and if you're in an apartment complex or whatever, throw your tank out on the on your patio if you have one on a second or third floor.
Yeah. So this one has 3 settings. High is 18, medium is 12, and low is 6,000 BTUs. Has the tip over safety shutoff switch on it and the low oxygen shutoff sensor. Has a approximate 72-hour runtime on low with a 20-pound tank.
Yeah, and a 12-hour runtime on high.
Yeah. So there's another option. It's a Mr. Heater. It's got the low oxygen sensor on it. Yeah, Mike, I got 2 in California that are sitting there as backups. And my son and my wife have collected 8 20-pound tanks for them. Picking them up at yard sales where they're selling them for $5 or less, and then taking them down to the exchange and getting them filled up.
Hey, Christy, if you're having trouble with the igniter, if the pilot lights up, but when you let it goes out, get a little wire brush. You might have to take the cage off the front. Take a little wire brush and clean off that little metal pin. That's the thermocouple. Clean it off. It's probably really sooted up really bad, so it's not getting the heat through it to let your gas stay on. Just a tip.
Yeah. And usually, I know what's weird is if you can find them here on YouTube, videos on maintenance for the Buddy heaters. Now, on my little buddy heater, I noticed that it says you hold it in for so many seconds, and then you can release the start button, and it should engage. Mine, right from the get-go, I've had to hold it in for about 10 seconds.
Mine gets hot in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, now I'm not talking about the buddy. I'm talking about the little buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And so, I stand there and hold it for a little bit longer, and it goes. Yeah, it's annoying, but yeah, it works.
If you're really creative, where's CR? We need them. If you unscrew the screen, the metal grate on the front, and modify it, I can't really tell you how verbally. You can actually put a pot of water on it and boil it.
Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Okay.
Oh, they have an adapter for it.
Here's what I got, and so I'm going to open this one up again here. And I'm going to go down here to the other little things I got here. 1/8 inch thick, 4-inch by 8-inch aluminum plates. Wait a minute. Yeah, okay, you'll see why. And one of these heater things.
So what fans, yeah.
What I did is up here at the, if I get it to sit there on it. Come on. So at the top here, is it going to stay? No, it's not going to stay on there. So at the top there, you see how the hook, the thing bends over a little bit?
Yep.
Well, basically what I did is I just took a saw and cut 2 lines that matched the wires going up there. So basically I wound up it looking like this a little bit. So you got 2 cuts going into it.
Yep.
Slid it in there, but you only cut so far so that it rests on the front here. You put it in there and you get the balance on there, and you put one of those fans on there. Well, the heat coming off this is going to heat up the aluminum, and then it's going to get the fan going because it powers by heat, and it's just going to circulate the air. Yeah, and I did that. I did the same thing for my buddies. But I didn't do a video on the little buddy for doing that, and I guess I'm going to have to do that for this winter.
Yeah, and that little tiny one though, you better have it strapped to the ground for the off balance of the weight. But no, on a regular buddy heater, you could do something similar, but it's where the heat's going straight up, and you can put a small pot of water on there and boil it.
Yeah. So what I have, I'm going to open this here up now. So I used that little buddy on the top with it. It is very rigid and solid. So that screws onto the propane tanks right there on it. So I got the brace on the front to get it all on there. You make sure it's all nice and secure. Put the one on top, and yeah, it's very secure. So. Yeah. Christy, what I would use, I would get a brass wire brush. It looks like a toothbrush, but it's brass, so it's a softer. It's it's not like the steel ones, which are a little more harsh to use. But the brass one will work good in there without damaging components. Crossing my fingers. Because I use the brass ones, like when I take the bolts out of my my rifles or take my revolvers apart. I'll use the brass one to clean surfaces on the face of the cylinder in the back and stuff, not the the stainless steel ones. All right, looking at the time here. All right, let's see what's coming up here. All right, so Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound, we're going to talk about canning fat, tallow, and lard specifically, and then we're going to go from there to other items about those things there and about using it once you've canned it. On Tactical Tuesday here on GrayManPrepping, the topic is backup cook stoves for basically the same type of situation here. Let's see. The midnight ride this week is not going to be on Thursday. I'm moving it up a day to Wednesday because Thursday is the city council meeting. And as soon as I get home from the city council meeting, I'm going to bed because I'm getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to head to California on Friday morning. Friday night, for the Friday night on the homestead on Camp Patton Family Compound, the topic is wildfires. Do you have a plan? And California's losing its crap right now, pardon my language, because, oh, we had really hot temperatures. Oh, no, fires are going to be really bad. Yes, the fires can be really bad if people act stupid and driving their vehicles when they're not supposed to be, having campfires when they're not supposed to be having campfires, and all the other problems. But still, do you have a plan for a wildfire, an urban wildfire, and a city firestorm? So we'll be talking about those on next Friday. Next Saturday here, this is one that some people will enjoy this. Others are going to be a little stickish and muddish and prideful on it. The topic is, are you financially prepared? Now, we're not talking about, oh, I got $300,000 in this account and $250,000 in that account. I'm not talking that. I'm just talking about we're going to financially prepared budgeting and stuff like that. And hopefully, cross your fingers, I can get the staff sergeant in here because that's what she does for a living, is budgeting.
Oh, cool. I have somebody new to harass.
Mark?
Maybe not. Okay, I won't. I promise.
No. Just to remind you, she was a staff sergeant in a unit of drill sergeants.
Yeah, and you're also 3,000 miles away from me, so, or 2,000 or something. I'm just messing with you.
I'm messing with you too. You may find her knocking on your door. Boom, boom, boom. Drop and give me 50.
Sir, yes, sir. I mean, ma'am. I mean, whatever you want to be called. Whoever you are. Yes.
So that's what's coming up here. Also, if anybody has any recommendations for topics, please. Here's the email. Also, down in the very bottom of the description of the video, the email's down there as well. Have you any ideas for topics and stuff? Send them to me. I've gotten some more. I've added them to some of the stuff to the list here. I'm looking for more. We're looking for more specifically for the Monday Night Fireside Chat, talking about food preservation. So, food preservation ideas, please send us some more food preservation ideas where you want information given on it. And with Tammy and Mark, we'll try to fill all that in. All right. All right, let's go ahead and drop that out. And all righty. So I want to thank everybody for coming in. There were some great comments running on there in the side chat. If you have ever had the power outage, I totally forgot one thing. Oh man, I just lost 8 people. For those that are still here, one of the things I forgot, I kind of mentioned it, but I didn't highlight it. If you are on natural gas or you have your propane tank outside and you lose power, getting a dedicated power station to run your furnace is probably one of the best things you can do then. That way the power goes out. You can just, have it set, get the setup so you just, power it off the little power station or off of the generator where you can get the furnace going again and keep your place heated. That is generally works mainly for those that are in residential houses, not in apartments, unfortunately.
Yeah, up here where I live, I can hook up my generator to my furnace, but I've had to splice into a particular code, like a wire, to have it plugged in. So when I plug in, I have to unplug it from the panel and then plug it into the generator to get the furnace to work.
All right, I just added that to the list.
That's an idea for
Christy. I'm gonna add. I just added to the schedule making ghee. But that's not going to be. That'll be back near October 21st. So, and for those of you that have trick or treaters, if you're buying candy for trick or treaters, look at the ingredients and try to getting some of the candies that do not have high fructose corn syrup in them.
Yeah, but the kids don't want that. They don't want some random.
Some of them they will like. Some of them will actually like the hard candy, the
like
butterscotch and the caramels and stuff that are the quality ones from Werther's and I forget the other company that are it's sugar but it's not high fructose corn syrup poison.
I stopped giving out candy when my kids stopped trick-or-treating. It was a give and take. Aside from some of the parents that walk their kids around, don't stay home and give out candy, and walk everybody around expecting candy and never get whatever. Yeah, that's just me.
Hey, well, my middle child loves, and no snide remarks, please. He loves candy corn and candy pumpkins. And he works at Walmart, so he has the employee discount on those big monster bags of it. And one of those 5-pound bags of candy corn lasts him 6 months. He's very good. He'll pull out 3 or 4 of them, and that's what he has for the day. In that case, the staff sergeant has never left her childhood. She's always loved chocolate. All right, everyone. Remember, stay happy no matter what life throws at you, even if it's a power outage. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish like messing with the power lines. Keep adding to your preps: water, food, medicine, clothing, backup heat, propane, fuel for your generators. Learn a new skill and get ready for the Indoor Garden Challenge coming up starting January 1st. All right, take care, and we will see you Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound. Take care, everyone.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.